Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Yasodanandan Prajanandan Yasodanandan Prajanandan Jamuna Dhira Damodara Vallabha Gopi Jana Vallabha Yasodanandana Prajananandana Yasodanandana Prajananandana Jamuna Dhira Jamuna Dhira Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Jaya Gurudev, Gurudev, Gurudeva, Gurudev. Jai Guru Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Stuttarasita Srimati Divine Grace ISKCON Founder Charity Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Dhira Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananda Gaudiya Vaishnava Ki Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Shri Guru Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai Shri Radha Krishna Gopal Gopinath Shama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Mathura Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Jamuna Mai Ki Jai Ganges Mai Ki Jai Tulasi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Amaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaura Premanande. Oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious assembled devotees, oh glorious Shishi Guru Shri Gauranga. Ram Vishnu Pada Krishna Pada Gota Vishnu Pada Krishna Shri Gaura Karana Shakti Vajita. Narayanam Namaskritya Aram Chaiva Narottam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Vidiraye Nashtaprayesha Badrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Bhakti Bhavati Nashtiki Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Ajnana-timirandasya Jnanam Salakaya Chakshurmilitam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manubhishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadavaya Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutaparakamayam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Sri Rupam Sadadata Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Satam Vitam Shri Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisavana Sutadevi Gunamami Hari Priya Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sandhyayevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Yantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We continue our reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 29. Explanation of devotional service. Text number 20. 28. Text 28. Jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ
ततः sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā
jīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe
tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ
jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās tataś cendriya-vṛttayaḥ
jīvāḥ śreṣṭhā hi ajīvānāṁ tataḥ prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ śubhe
tataḥ sa-cittāḥ pravarās, tataḥ cendriya-vṛttayaḥ. Jīvāḥ, living entities. śreṣṭhā, better. He, indeed, ajīvānāṁ, than inanimate objects. Tataḥ, than them. prāṇa-bhṛtaḥ, living entities with life symptoms. Śubhe, O Blessed Mother. Tataḥ, than them. Sa-cittāḥ, entities with developed consciousness. Pravarās, better. Tataḥ, than them. And cendriya-vṛttayaḥ, those with sense perception. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, His confounder, Charya Jagat Guru Sri Bhakti Dhira Swami Purport ki jai. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects. O Blessed Mother. And among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animals with developed consciousness are better than them. And better still are those who have developed sense perception. Please repeat. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects. O Blessed Mother. And among them, living entities who display life symptoms are better. Animals with developed consciousness are better than them, and better still are those who have developed sense perception. Purport. In the previous verse, it was explained that living entities should be honored by charitable gifts and friendly behavior. And in this verse and in the following verses, are 6 from there, 6 verses. 6 verses after this. The description of different grades or living entities is given so that one can know when to behave friendly and when to give charity. For example, a tiger is a living entity, part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And the Supreme Lord is living in the heart of the tiger as Supersoul. But does it mean that we have to treat the tiger in a friendly manner? Certainly not. We have to treat him differently, giving him charity in a form of prasāda. The many saintly persons in the jungles do not treat tigers in a friendly way, but they supply prasāda, foodstuffs to them. The tigers come, take the food, and go away, just as a dog does. According to the Vedic system, a dog is not allowed to enter the house because of the uncleanliness. Cats and dogs are not allowed within the apartment of a gentleman, but are so trained that they stand outside. The compassionate householder will supply prasāda to the dogs and cats, who eat outside and then go away. We must treat the lower living entities compassionately. But this does not mean that we have to treat them in the same way we treat other human beings. The feeling of equality must be there, but the treatment should be discriminating. Just how discrimination should be maintained is given in the following 6 verses concerning the different grades of living conditions. The first division is made between dead, stone-like matter and the living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of the soul within that stone. Above that, the next manifestation of the living condition is development of consciousness. And the next manifestation is the development of sense perception. In the Moksha Dharma section of the Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perception. They can see and smell. We know by experience that trees can see. Sometimes in its growth, a large tree changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. This means that the tree can see, and according to Mahabharata, a tree can also smell. This indicates the development of sense perception. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we have been looking at equal vision of living entity, equal vision, having equal vision. For some time I've been reading about this. Krishna and Narada Muni speaking about this topic. And Prabhupada's movement also talking about this. How we should, and today we are talking about how to treat different grade of living entities according to the development of our consciousness. It is very important for us to look at it very carefully. Etiquette, the teaching of our acharyas, how to apply them in our life. And these are things that we have to do every day. It's our daily activities. So we should know them very nicely. So we can apply them very nicely. There are 4 principles of service of Vaishnava. How many? 4 principles. Reception. One is reception. Second is respect. Third is association. And the last one is service. See, they are in sequence. Do you know? They are in sequence. First one is reception. And when you invite a guest, a devotee is coming to the house, the first thing is reception. And how you receive that person, you will tell. The way that seat is how you're going to behave with you in the house. I mentioned the other day, we went to visit a household, and it's a house program. And when we go to the house, he came out, because it's good, reception, right? But the next thing is what? Wrong. The next thing was wrong. The next thing, which is part of reception, is to wash the sadhu's feet outside his house. So you have washed off the dust that is required for purification outside your house. What is going to purify the house and yourself? Wrong reception. I told him, no, I won't do that. If you want to do it nicely. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Am I correct? He's scared, you know? He's scared. I want to teach him the right thing. If you want to do the right thing, if you know it's a sadhu who is coming to the house, then wash it inside. If you know the sadhu, don't wash. Am I correct? What do you think? Don't wash. It's okay. You are receiving ordinary person in the house. That's okay. And if you want to follow the etiquette, do it nicely. You should wash inside. Lord Krishna did not wash the Brahmana's feet outside the house. Does Krishna need to do that? He is teaching us the process. Krishna did not even engage his queen, nor the servant. He did it personally. And Krishna sprinkled the water on his body to teach us also the process, and requested all other do the same. Like Chaitanya we did in Jagannath Puri, after beating the boat of Haridas in the sea, he took Chanamrit and he told all the devotees, all of you, he did first. It's a process. The perfect teacher, they teach by their own personal example. So reception is very, very important, because that is the beginning. Just like we have 9 processes of bhakti, which begins from hearing. If the hearing is wrong, the remaining 8 will be wrong. You understand? If the first thing is wrong, the remaining thing also be wrong. Just like if you are doing mathematics, 2 plus 2, 2. What will happen to the remaining addition? It's all wrong. Because the foundation is wrong. The foundation is wrong, therefore the remaining thing also be wrong. One senior devotee told he's a leader. one of the leaders in this country. Say sannyasi is a guru. So when I was visiting his temple, he told all the devotees there, you should be careful with this Swami coming. If you don't follow the etiquette, he's not going to speak his mind to you. He's not going to speak his mind if you don't follow the etiquette. So all of you should be careful if you follow the etiquette. People should know who we are, do you know? We should live our life in such a way that people should know. Don't play double standard. It's not good. If you are bad, you should be bad so that people will know how to correct you. If you are good, you should be good so that people will know how to relate with us. This is our system. Transparency, that's what it means. So the first item is reception. Then the second is respect. Respect. Please come to the house. The person comes to the house. And you have a nice place to sit. Then, what's the next thing? Before the association was the feet. Yes. He was the feet. After washing the feet, something to drink. Yes, asana is there. Then association comes. What is association? Sir Papa said the essence of association is here. So now he will speak his mind. He will speak his mind because he has been nicely received. The idea is not the honor. The honor is the external. The main thing is that we know the culture. That I'm happy that we have come to visit me. I'm happy. That is the main thing. Yes, we mentioned there are 6 parāṇa-bhṛtaḥs. And one of them is not to feel happy upon seeing a devotee. Not happy. Even though Vanchakalpatas had been said, but in the mind, why you are here? When are you living here? You shouldn't have come here. How long are you going to stay here? In the mind. Physically, with folded and all the mudras perfectly observed and performed. It's hypocrisy. It's not Krishna consciousness. So this is a continuation of seminar, right? Association comes. And then the last is service. Service include what? Prasāda. Put the over nice prasāda. So the guests feel very happy that I'm welcome here. I'm welcome. If you visit someone and the husband and wife are fighting, they're quarreling, what should you do? Huh? Go away. Why? Why you should go away? Why should you leave the place? For reception, they are not comfortable with you. They are a moderation. We're going to, being here is a moderation. How are we going to take care of you? Then the symptom is you're fighting, quarreling. And you should understand the science. And simply excuse them and find a way. So you don't remain a burden. Then for that. This is the process. And the discriminating householder should render these kinds of service according to Vaishnava's level of advancement, which means increasing elaborate service to the third, second, and the first class devotees. If one lacks the discrimination to distinguish the relative spiritual strength of Vaishnavas, then one should worship all these equally and according to one's full ability. In this regard, some words of caution are in order. Since a neophyte grihastha does not know how to properly relate to Vaishnavas, he will show prejudice to them based on their varna, ashrama, initiated status, bodily duty, thus risking Vaishnava parat. Therefore, such a grihastha should take guidance from an intermediate devotee on how to worship Vaishnavas, and then make every effort to abandon his miserly mentality by rising to a higher status of devotion. The general etiquette in receiving a Vaishnava is that the householder offer obeisances immediately upon seeing his guest. Greet them with words of welcome and offer them a sitting place. After inquiring about the Vaishnava's welfare, one should offer them prasāda and other suitable services according to the host's means and the guest status. When the Vaishnava depart, he should be accompanied some distance and bid a sweet farewell according to the scripture. What is the distance? Yeah? You take the guest to outside their village until you get outside your village, and then you take 7 steps forward. After that, then you can go back to your that's the process. And then what else? Obeisances and cry. Cry. Why crying? Separation. The pain of separation. Because you feel enlightened by his presence. You're happy. That nectar is leaving you for some time, or for a longer time, according to your taste for nectar. You understand? It's leaving. So appreciation should make you want to feel the pain and cry. Oh, I'm going to see you. Many devotees does it nicely, which is very, very good. This is not pretension, but genuinely from the heart. If you don't follow this thing and act disrespectfully, looking at devotees on their body, which is happening a lot in this one, it's happening. A lot. Devotees not following the etiquette based on the body, which is ignorance. And Krishna have been speaking, like Kapil Muni have been teaching this for a few days now. We've been discussing this. That's why we decided to also do this, because Narayana is also speaking from 11th canto, 11th and the 7th canto. Narayana is speaking, quoting verses. Krishna is speaking, Narayana is speaking, and they all correspond to the same thing because they are teaching the same. Sweet words. According to the etiquette, Even if you are so poor that you can't afford anything, use your hand to clean the floor for the guests to sit. And offer water. Even if you don't have water, they speak sweet word, good word. Good word. Who doesn't have that? Only a person in mode of ignorance doesn't have good words. Only have harsh words. But at least a sadhu should do the right thing. If you don't do this, it is said that for a period of 12 years, the family deity will refuse to the worship of the grihasta who fails to properly receive a Vaishnava guest. How many years? 12 years. You know who said this? Cendriya-vṛttayaḥ. It's a householder's deity. What of the temple deity you worship? The same thing. Not that their deity in a house will refuse you, and the temple deity will refuse you. The temple that you worship also will refuse you, because it's the same thing. They are the same. 12 years they will refuse. Grihastha Dharma means being educated in the details and intricacies of receiving and hosting Vaishnavas. The devotee invited us to her house. It's not here in Nigeria, and and I was traveling with the Haranam party. And she came, oh please, Prabhu, bring devotees to my house. So we went to the house. She cooked, labored seriously, purchased, good, everything, cooked alone. She's a good cook. She cooked for my Gurudev. And then the time for devotees to take prasāda. And one devotee came forward. Can I taste? No, it's too much for you. I have many other people coming. It's enough for you. What you have taken is enough for you. I just turned my face aside. Everything she has done is spoiled. 100%. Everything destroyed. In Ramayan, Vasishtha Muni spoke to Dasara Maharaj. Dasara Maharaj has gone to Naimisharanya. Dasara Maharaj is Swayambhuva Manu in his previous life. And his wife is what? Satarupa, his wife, Kausalya. He has many other wives, but Kausalya is Satarupa. After finishing his service as Manu, he performed austerity for years. Naimisharanya and some other places. And he met face to face Lord Ramchandra, who agreed to be his son. Then he took next birth as Dasarat Maharaj. And he was ruling. While he was ruling, there was no child also. He performed so many other austerities. And the last one, he was recommended to do, that if he does this, his desire will be fulfilled. So he went to his guru, Vasishtha Muni, and told him, I have decided to do this to get a child. So look at it. If you approve of it, then we do it. If you approve of it. So Vasishtha Muni looked at the whole thing. He saw everything, the future, the end of the sacrifice, and the result was auspicious. And he said, okay, my king, you can go ahead. So Dasara Maharaj said, now you do the necessary. I don't know you guide me. What are the things you need? So he was perfectly guided. all the articles perfect. The other day we don't mention it. The article for the jargon would be perfect. The environment will be sanctified. 3 good months. Sanctified. All the items necessary, including the animals to be used, they are kept in the same place, separate. Nobody goes there. The priest who's going to do it, the Sasringa was invited to do this. The Sasringa. It means what? The other day we were talking about Brahmanas who does not come from Brahmana family. He is one of them, the Sasringa. Means that his parents are not Brahmanas, are not? Yes. Rishya, Sringa. It's dear. It's a Brahmana. It's a dear. You see how our scripture is so beautiful. Everything is meaningful. Everything. So he was a chief priest. And for 3 months, won't see a woman, won't see the sun, will not eat. 3 months. To light the fire with mantra. There are 10 mantras. 10. No food. If you want to chant it. 10. Brahmana. You know? Brahmana. 3 months. No food. Only milk. 1 cup of milk a day for 3 months. You stay in the cave, you won't see the sun. 3 months. To be able to do that jagya, that the result will be perfect. Want to do? No? So that's why Maharaj, he arranged everything complete under the supervision and direction, the guidance of our sister Moni. After everything was complete, all the ingredients, all the paraphernalia were complete, then he said, he called all the servants of Dasara Maharaj. He called everybody. Come. You should go the whole world. Invite the kings to come. They should come to participate. When they were happy to go, say, wait. The success of this jagya is not the priest. It's not the paraphernalia. It's not the piety of the king. It is not the mantras. Then what? The success of this jagya depends on your attitude. How you treat the invited guests. That will show the success of this jagya. Therefore, I request all of you, in this jagya, do not show anger to anybody, even when there are chances for you to be angry. Do not show it. Become a yogi, at least for this moment. After that, you can, yes. But for this time, do not. If you love your king and you want you want his success, do not show even slightly disrespect, anger to all the invited guests. Let everybody participate happily. Let them eat happily, and while they're living, they should live here with a smile on their faces. Will be the success of the jagya. Mistreatment of guests, very dangerous. We are devotees. Mechanically, even philosophically, doing so many things is not enough. Philosophy should guide us to approach the essence. So if we study and remain on the knowledge platform, we are Gyanis, not Bhaktas. And this particular verse today, what Krishna actually meant, what Kapil Muni actually meant, it is mentioned here. The first division is made between dead, stone-like matter and a living organism. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. What are we looking at? We're looking at different grades of consciousness. And a devotee does not just see equality only in the body alone. A devotee goes beyond to see the level of consciousness. That is the point. Understand? So we have to deal with devotees differently, with understanding according to their status. So if you don't do based on the scripture, if you do it just because of our ignorance on the body, okay, you are from Japan, Japan Vaishnava. Okay, you are from Indonesia, China. Okay, you are from Africa. Jabasi, yes. Do you know the spiritual level of this Chandala? Do you know? How many people recognize Vyasadeva and Sukadeva Goswami when he was going to speak Bhagavad? Who would recognize him? Nobody recognized him. Nobody. But he was going to speak the Bhagavad. Mahabhagavad. He was completely nude. Although he was like that, but you're supposed to know that ordinary person's hand cannot reach the knee if you stand. We are sitting, the hand will need to reach the knee. But Sukadeva Goswami, when he stands, his hand reaches the knee. Means what? This is Nyograha. Nyograha means a Mukta Purusha. One who is not just ordinary person. Ordinary person, our hand will not reach the knee if we stand. But Sukadeva Goswami, when he stands, the hand reaches the knee, and his nose stands, not flat, stands. His body is like Krishna. So beautiful, so sweet. So sweet. But in the mode of ignorance, we will not see that. We will only see this matted head person. Jatila. Jatila means matted head. This is matted. He is a mad person. Get out of our sight. It's a bad sight. So we should be careful how we deal with devotees, because we don't know the level of his surrender to Krishna, his level of bhakti. Because pure devotees always hide themselves. Always. Only if one is very fortunate, you will know. Lord Krishna said, if I do not give someone my mercy, even if I stand before you like the face to face, you will not understand. The same with pure devotees. You will not understand. The journalist asking Purport, have you seen God? So Purport was very angry with him. Have you seen God? So Purport said, what did you use to ask him if you have seen God? You know God? So if I tell you yes or no, how will you understand? It's a stupid question. He didn't tell him like that. What do you mean? It's a stupid question. You should know what is gold before you buy gold. If you don't know what is gold, you'll be cheated. I won't be sold to you as gold. So before you ask me if I've seen God, you should be seeing God yourself. Then the answer will be correct or not. Then you understand. If you don't understand, the answer I will give you, you don't understand. So don't ask me this nonsense question. For example, Srila Prabhupada wrote, if a karmi is a friend, you just greet him with Hare Krishna, and with folded hands touch your forehead. If a karmi is a superior relative, then chant Hare Krishna and bow down to him on the ground. That should be the etiquette in our society transactions. Prabhupada did everything completely. Just as the reception for non-Vaishnavas varies with their status, the same holds true for Vaishnavas, among whom the welcome for one's guru is more special still. For example, if two Vaishnavas, one more advanced than the other, come at the same time, the senior should be greeted first with greater respect. And if these Vaishnavas come at different times, they should still be received with a welcome proportionate to the advancement. All right. Living entities are superior to inanimate objects. Inanimate object. Like what? What is inanimate object? Stones. Some stones they have souls. Some mountains. Before, mountains used to move, but their movement is dangerous because when they decide to rest, if they come down on Mauritius, then everything is finished. Therefore, Indra cut off their wings. They cannot move again. I have to stand in one place. Dead grass is inferior to live grass. Is it not? Because the consciousness. This is supposed to be grass now, but this is plastic grass. Right? This is plastic grass. And if you go outside, there is a live grass. So the live grass is superior to this. Yes. A living organism is sometimes manifested even in stone. Experience shows that some hills and mountains grow. This is due to the presence of the soul within that stone. Above that, the next manifestation of the living condition is development of consciousness. So superior to stone is what? Superior to stone. Grass. Superior to grass is plant. The plant. The plant. It is here. Above that, the next manifestation of the living condition is developed of consciousness. And the next manifestation is the development of sense perception. The plant, the tree. The tree is growing and it touches a stone. What will happen? It will change the course. It will change the direction. It means what? Yes. In the Moksha Dharma section of the Mahabharata, it is stated that trees have developed sense perception. They can see and smell. And some, we know by experience that trees can see. Sometimes in its growth, a large tree changes its course of development to avoid some hindrances. This means that a tree can see, and according to Mahabharata, a tree can also smell. This indicates the development of sense perception, which is true. The plant, not only that they see, they can also communicate. Those who know this science, they have the subtle way of dealing with the living entity just beyond the gross body, can communicate. I know someone who can hear the language of the trees and the plants. He's a healer. So when he want to heal someone and he needed a particular plant for that, when he entered the forest, he just stand and wait. And the plant will direct him. And he will go immediately and pick the plant. This is nature. A caring nature of Krishna. Krishna is so caring that he has made the perfect arrangement for our maintenance, even before our coming. Krishna is so caring. That is why it is so dangerous if we don't have a caring attitude. The principle which Krishna used to maintain all of us. What is the value of a son who cannot represent the father? What is the value? The son's responsibility is to represent the father. The duty of a disciple is to represent the spiritual master. To take over, inherit the father's establishment. Right? That's our responsibility. So it's a fact, and the plant and trees can also. But a devotee look at the consciousness, not just to be fools. A devotee is not a fool. A devotee vision is perfect. That we know how to deal with every single situation in the way that is beneficial for everyone. Hare Krishna. Comments? Questions? Yes, sir. Hare Krishna.
At one point you mentioned that devotees will also recognize the animals.
Yes.
And then you mentioned that because of unclean, they should not be allowed to stay inside the temple.
Yes.
So you see now, one time there was an article in Bhakti Dhira Damodara to keep devotees, children to keep animals like cats and dogs as pets in their house. And then some devotees were arguing that it's going to be kept inside. And sometimes they should came, then we still respect the animals, like how to care like what people keep pets and stuff. So how we should deal with that?
In ISKCON, we have seen many altars, animals are there. Right? Monkeys, peacocks, elephants, tortoise. My altar I have tortoise as well. Silver one. It's a silver. It's silver. It's a silver stone. What again? Parrots, right? A lot of parrots. Here I have 2 parrots today. They're always there. I have more in my Lagos altar, but when traveling is 2. Srimati Rani has 1, Krishna has 1. The small one is Radharani, keeps here. I always told, deliver the message between Radha and Krishna. So that is not bad. That is not bad. But not dogs. In all the temples that have animals, you don't see dogs there. You don't see cats there. According to Nectar of Devotion, Rupa Goswami has clearly mentioned the food we are going to offer to Krishna should not be seen by dog. Because the moment they see it, they have eaten it. So it's not suitable for offering to Krishna. That is their mentality. And they are dirty. They're dirty. So they shouldn't be in the religious place. In the scripture, they are forbidden. In the religious places, place of sacrifice in the temple, they are not necessary. They are not allowed. So Prabhupada mentioned here the gentlemen, they don't keep dogs. I mean, the West, you see a lot of people, animals, dogs. And one of the difficulties I have in Brazil, always talking to them about keeping dogs. They have dogs. Dogs. They're dirty. They're not allowed in religious places. They're dirty. But Krishna, when Krishna planted the pearls, you been there? When Krishna planted the pearls, been there? After the pearls germinated, Krishna decorated the cows, decorated the monkeys, decorated the cowhead boys. He didn't decorate the girls because they offended him. But the main thing is that Krishna also decorated the monkeys with the pearls. But it was not mentioned that he decorated dogs. Rupa Goswami mentioned monkeys, the cows. Krishna decorated them also with special jewels, pearls. So that's okay if you keep it in the house, but not dogs. This is dirty. Right?
You mentioned about what is the value of the disciple. You cannot represent his or her spiritual master.
Yes.
Is it application?
What is the purpose of having a son, a disciple, or having servants? What's the purpose? It's to serve. So if you have no service, then what is the use? What is the use? So it's as good as not having a child, or not having a disciple, or not having a servant. His Holiness Jadota Maharaj told me things which you regularly do. We are in a Jagannath Yatra. Every day, oh Maharaj, give me, Maharaj. The little thing, oh Maharaj, give me. Like the devotee take it from me and disappear. The time you need it, it's not there. Is that service or disservice? Is it not better that you don't take it? Why do you take it and when the person needs it is an anxiety? Is that service to give anxiety? No. It does happen regularly. Especially in that Yatra or Parikam. The devotee will want to do so, you are taking whatever you are holding. By the time you need it, they have disappeared. The devotee took the computer from the hand. This computer he took from, oh Maharaj, let me hold it for you. We entered the car, he went and put the computer at the boot. So the computer is so heavy that it has to be left in the boot. And the boot is very hot. Is that good for the computer? He's not chanting, there's nothing in his hand. There's nothing in his hand. Even japa bead is not in his hand. But the computer is at the boot. So he can sit comfortably in the car and space out. At least you have some service to do that. You're carrying the computer on your lap. And it brings some purification. But now you dump it at the boot, at the displeasure of the person. So is that service? This is disservice. They look minor, but it has effect because the person is not going to be happy seeing that. So how is that good for us? So it should be available for service. The Christian is not happy with us because we are meant for his service, and we are denying Christian that service. So why should we be happy? Why we should be happy? Because we are not doing what we're supposed to do. So we shouldn't, and Prabhupada said we should not be surprised why we are suffering. We shouldn't. We should know why we are suffering. Because we are not acting as servants, which is our constitutional position. A servant that will offer service. And not just service, a pleasing service. A service which is giving the person the master pleasure. As a servant. So how are we a servant if we are not doing that?
Another question. What is the danger of using harsh words and
What's the danger of using harsh words? What's the danger of shooting someone with a stone? If you stone someone, what is the danger of stoning someone? They're giving pain. And who will feel happy giving others pain? Will you happy? The danger is that we will not be happy. Because we are putting others in anxiety. Dangerous. Very dangerous to do that. Getting angry, the Vaishnava, dangerous. Alright? Thank you. Smart Bhagavatam ki jai.